Konnichiwa. Watashi wa America jin desu. Lady desu. No. Tokyo. Tokyo desu. Tokyo desu. Ichi maru kyu. So I'm in Japan. And I want to rant. This rant is about JBS. But it's about all soul and R&B cafes in Japan. These are my thoughts on soul and R&B cafes in Japan. Love them. Let's start there. I love the fact that Japan, that in this country, as a black man, I can go into a space and I can feel very comfortable in my own skin, just simply being. For instance, when I'm in Los Angeles, now after my travels throughout the world, when I'm in Los Angeles, I feel very comfortable being in Little Ethiopia. Just being in my own skin, just chilling, right? What does that mean? Well, it means that in certain places I don't feel as comfortable. I feel the desire or the urge to buy something and then, move it along. I don't feel like I'm vibing there with the people, camaraderie. There are things like that. There's a balance. There's a hey brother sort of a feel. Good to see you type of thing. But in Japan, there are these R&B soul cafe bars. They are bars. They sell alcohol there. You don't have to drink alcohol. They certainly sell it. And I love these spaces because I love going into them, hearing music that sounds familiar to me, and just vibing. It's just a vibe. And then the Japanese who are there appreciate me being there. Sumimasen. It's a cool place just to be. Now, I wonder, how is it possible that these businesses are able to survive? That's my question. That's where that's where all of this is coming from. Like, how do these businesses survive? It's not so much that that African Americans, that blacks are patronizing them on a regular basis to keep them afloat. African Americans, we do come to Japan, we do patronize these places, but we're not the customer base. We're not the primary customer base. I don't know the primary customer base in Japan, but I can only venture to guess that these are Japanese who have an affinity for, who have an appreciation of, and who like soul music, jazz, soul, R&B, hip hop, okay? Whatever the case may be. Because when I'm in a jazz, soul, R&B, whatever, music, black music, bar, there are Japanese there. Okay. And when I talk to the owners are their acumen, their knowledge of black music, like, it's up there. They know what they're doing. They know what they like. They know what they're playing. They know different artists by names. They know words and phrases from, Black American culture. Like, they know their ish. That's the bartender. That's the owner. But then the patrons, the customers, they know their stuff too. Case in point, just last night I was at the bar and I did not know that it was Nasir Jones's favorite Japanese soul bar. But this young woman who was there knew, and she showed me, hey, this is Nas, and she told me this is Nas's favorite Japanese soul bar. She showed me Nas's album. She was like, look, he wrote a song called Japanese Soul Bar. He was talking about this bar right here. She knew, at least she knew about Nas. She also told me that she had been 2 weeks ago, she had been to Erykah Badu's show. So I'm like, wow, okay. She knows something. She may not know the 70s music that my, mom and dad listened to in their 20s or what have you, but her acumen, she knows, she's aware. So I imagine that the Japanese who patronize these places have some knowledge, some awareness of Black culture, Black American music culture. All right. But how do these businesses stay afloat? That's my question. How do these businesses stay afloat? Let's talk about Kobayashi. Kobayashi is the guy who owns JBS in Tokyo. JBS in Tokyo is, when I first learned about it, it was called Jazz, Blues, and Soul Bar, JBS, Jazz, Blues, and Soul. Today, it just goes by JBS, okay? Now, the jumping off point, the reason why I really started making this video is because I had a thought. When I enter any of these Japanese soul bars, jazz, soul, even reggae, whatever, whenever I enter these bars, they always have a vinyl collection. Their walls are plastered. Their walls are covered in vinyl. They have these huge vinyl collections, okay? JBS, you walk in and they're just cubby holes, cupboards packed with CD, not CDs, excuse me, vinyl records, okay? But in America, vinyl is dead, right? Like, how is it, like, what's going on? Okay, so the Japanese, like, I'm really trying to figure this one out. How are they surviving? Because here's an idea. My dad has his collection of vinyl records. I'll walk into his TV room and I'll see all of his vinyl in cubbies, in cubby holes, in cupboards. And I'm like, Pops has his vinyl collection. And I'm kind of like, well, why doesn't Pop have a dive bar in LA where he's spinning records and has people coming in listening to the jams? Like, well, I don't understand that. But here in Japan, thousands of miles away from where the music was played and was enjoyed and was created, oftentimes the music was created in Los Angeles. Case in point, Ray Charles's studio was right there off of Washington Boulevard. I know that because I watched the video by Nelson George. But Japan, of all places, has these mini music bars, listening spaces where you go in, you can have a drink, but then you can see that they have collected, or rather they've purchased a huge, man, excuse my French, but a shitload of vinyl records for the music genre that they want to present, that they want to play, in that space. I'm telling you, man, I'm confused. My mind is, I'm befuddled. I can't understand. How is it that these Japanese are able to accumulate these records that are, basically they're obsolete, right? I mean, the market in the United States doesn't, we don't see vinyl promoted a lot. I know it's promoted. I know. I just bought records, Nipsey Hussle's, a few years ago. I bought Nipsey Hussle's vinyl record for Victory Lap. I bought Diggable Planets, maybe a reissue of Rebirth of Slick. I bought that on vinyl. But I don't have a record player. I don't have the means to play these things. These are just collector items, right? and mine are in pristine condition. Whereas here in Japan, they actually use the vinyl. They have the turntables and they're spinning the discs. They've got the Technics turntables. Is Technics a Japanese company? That would explain some things. But they've got two turntables. They've got the ones and twos set up at all of these locations. And the bartenders are not only bartenders, but they're DJs. Like, wow. My man Goody in Fukuoka, way down south, is a DJ and a bartender. He'll make your drinks. He'll spin records. He has a wide collection. He has a wall full of records and everything. And this is in Japan. Okay, so what about the brothers and sisters, the folks in Los Angeles who grew up listening to this music and collecting these vinyl records, and they have in their homes, they have huge collections of vinyl. Where are the bars? Where are the establishments, the listening rooms where these collections are on display, where the records are actually spun, where drinks are being served, where patrons are actually coming, sitting down and enjoying themselves? Like, where is that space? I'm just asking. I'm literally asking. Like, if you know, like, help a brother out. Let me know. Is it an economic thing? Is it like, okay, it's not in Leimert Park. That's predominantly a black community. And then there are social issues that are making the existence of that type of venue very difficult. Is it economic? Whereas you might find a spot like that. I'm sure you will find a spot like that in hipster Pasadena, Silver Lake. All right, now I'm talking about in America. I'm talking about in Los Angeles. I'm like, where are these places? Because to me, I'm looking at my pops has a vinyl collection. I can go find a spot, rent it out, get some turntables. I know how to mix some drinks. Now I don't want to take away anything from the owners here in Japan. I'm just saying, like, Japan is different. That's really what I'm saying. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around how a Japanese soul, a soul and R&B bar can exist in Japan when it doesn't exist in America. The blueprint doesn't seem to exist in America. What am I missing? I'm not trying to. I am trying to wrap my head around this. I am trying to figure this stuff out, but I'm sure I'm missing a lot. Now, this is not a negative rant, because what it is I see genuine appreciation and camaraderie, affinity. I see goodness. I see rich appreciation, cultural appreciation, not appropriation, but appreciation right here in Japan. And I see that. I've seen that on YouTube videos where I see the Japanese embracing Chicano culture, lowriders, and tatted like Chicanos, dressing like Chicanos. I mean, the Chicano culture of Los Angeles has spread all the way to Vietnam, where you got some cats who are like, they look like they're straight banging, but they're more posers than anything else. Unless, of course, they are actually banging and they have sets and they're like, yo, this is us over here, F you over there, type of thing. I don't know. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't know if the father and his daughters are coming up these stairs or not, but I'm gonna wrap this one up. So if they're coming up the stairs, I'll have to turn the camera off. Doesn't look like it. They're going the opposite direction. You guys are coming up here? Yeah. I got it. In the last video, I was asking myself, or I was asking you as well, like, what is it about Japan that makes that makes an R&B soul bar successful, that makes it, hey, survive, business cycles and economic things. Like, what is it? I asked that question, and then I realized it's culture. Culture is the answer. Culture, that's what it is. So in Japan, okay, let me give you an example. All right, Goody, good old Goody. I visited Goody. I learned about Goody when I visited Fukuoka, far down south, right? Well, in 2016, Goody made a map of Japan. He was marketing his business, his one and only bar in Fukuoka, and he created a map of all the other businesses that are like his. Goody's bar is a Japanese soul bar. Shout out to Nas, who made the song Japanese Soul Bar. Yeah, so he made this Japan Soul Bar map, and he shows everyone from north all the way down south to Okinawa. So from as far north as Hokkaido all the way down to Okinawa, where you can find these black culture affinity, black music affinity bars called Japanese soul bars. They could be soul, they could be R&B, they could be hip hop, rap, they could be reggae, they could be jazz, they could be blues. Some of the bars that I've been to include Goody's, of course, which is described as a soul R&B bar. Then you have JB's bar, JB for James Brown's bar. That's also in Fukuoka. Then you've got in Okinawa, you have a place called Chocolate Milk. Then you got a place called Harlem, the Harlem Bar in Okinawa as well. Those are two bars I've been to in Okinawa, Chocolate Milk and Harlem. Then you've got, let's see, those two bars, Okinawa, Fukuoka, JB's bar, and Goody's. All right, those are the only two in Fukuoka that I know. Those are the only two in Okinawa that I know. All right, but then the map shows as far up as Hokkaido, as I mentioned. So I'm in Tokyo today, and I've already been to 4, 3, 4, 5. No, I've been to 5. I've been to 5. In 2 days, I've been to 5 Japanese soul bars. I've been to 5. So in Tokyo, I've already been to, yesterday I went to Soul Stream Bar. I went to JBS, which was originally Jazz, Blues, Soul Bar, but now it just goes by JBS. And when I went there, Kobayashi-san was playing hip hop. So those are 2 right there. Then I went to Brown Sugar in Tokyo. And then after Brown Sugar, I also went to Little Soul Cafe, which is Nas's favorite. Nas actually is there. There's a poster that he signed. He wrote "Thanks for the music" and the scotch. That's at the Little Soul Cafe. So those are 4 right there. All right. Soul Nuts, that was the first one that I went to. Look at that. Soul Nuts. So that's 5 right there. Soul Nuts, Soul Stream, Brown Sugar, JBS, Little Soul Cafe. That's 5. That's all 5. Yeah, those are all the 5 that I visited in Tokyo within the last 2 days. Tonight, I have an opportunity to visit another. Did I say that it was culture? Culture is the answer. Culture is the answer. Oh, why did I bring up the map that Goody made? Because Goody was bringing all the people, all the Japanese together who have an affinity for black soul, jazz, blues, whatever music. So basically, it's not like Goodies is a one-off. No, it's a whole community built on culture, built on, hey, we like that music. Now, so basically, there's a whole movement in so close, but not Ichimaru Q. And I'm just passing by. That'd have been cool if it was only 2 numbers off, 2 numbers closer. But it wasn't meant to be. I'm walking back to my accommodation.